What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are going to be going over how to kill the Golden Rathian quickly in Monster Hunter World. So first and foremost, what I usually do is, this is if you don't really understand the mechanics to the boss that or the monster that you're fighting. I just stock up on a lot of traps, so I'm going to make this extremely simple for you guys. And the build that I'm going to be using is the Thunder Dual Blades. So what I have here is Safi's Bolt Claws, and I know the KT, Master Rank KT is out, but I haven't got that yet, so this is what I'm using for now. I do have Health Regen and an Elemental Status Effect up twice. I have the Silver Soul Helm and the Silver Soul Mail, Silver Soul Braces, Silver Soul Coil, Garuga Legs, the Shock Charm, the Temporal Mantle, and the Glider Mantle, for my own reasons. So basically maxed out. My skills are Critical Eye maxed out, Thunder Attack maxed out, Health Boost maxed out, Critical Boost maxed out, Weakness Exploit maxed out, Peak Performance, because I'm going to be doing no more damage since I'm going to be full health. I do have Marathon Runner since I'm using Dual Blades. I do want to have a little bit of stamina, and a little bit of Constitution, which is going to be in my mantles. Windproof just kind of comes with the set. A lot of some of the gear that I get actually comes with the set armor that I have. Like for example, Slinger Capacity comes with it. So what I'm really just gonna highlight is the fact that you can actually kill monsters fairly quickly as long as you join the right lobbies. For one, that's a big factor. Is investigation lobbies is the best way to find really good players. The players that I'm playing with are I have never met before. His name's Tormund, Cochiloco, and Adam. And this monster, before we go into the fight, he's actually weak to Thunder. So as you can see, the element that he's weak against the most is Thunder. He has a 3-star element to Thunder weakness, and the rest is 2-star. The weak points are his head. I know it doesn't look like it's not his head, but it really is. His wings are breakable. I mean, everything shows that it's breakable. But initially you actually want to aim for the head and tenderize it. Since I'm using a light weapon, the key factor is when you go inside, you want to make sure that you weaken it twice. And when you weaken, what that means is you want to clutch claw and then press Y and then try to tenderize it. And because it is a light weapon, you need to do it twice. It's not a heavy weapon at all. So I'm not entirely sure if they've already done this. It's possible that they already did. If they have a heavy weapon, all they have to do they only have to do it once. So the last run that we did was around 5 minutes. I spent a lot of time trying to go over a couple of things before I got into this fight, but we'll see what happens. That guy's about to die, so I'm gonna drop this potion for him. Let's see. I got my mantle out. Okay. So I tried to go for his head. I don't know what happened there. See these numbers that are the white and yellow? I'm gonna go for that spot again so you guys can kind of see what I was talking about. Those aren't the numbers you want to see. That's because it's not tenderized at all. See, those are like non-crits. Now if you go I'm gonna try to go for the head now so you can see what that looks like. Still in the air, going crazy. Now I'm on his head. So you see these yellow numbers, that means they have already weakened the head completely. So that's good for me, because that means now the numbers I'm going to be doing with dual blades is going to be much, much higher. Currently he can also be knocked, so I'm going to try to slam him into a wall. Never forget to slam monsters in walls. That's a free 1,700 damage. But now, the goal here is to break his head. So right now, I'm doing 111 damage on my dual blades, but it's not completely broken. The more you break his head, the more damage that you do with your weapon. So that's 118. Now I'm doing 133. Okay, those are the numbers you actually do want to be seeing. A lot of people ask, well, how are you doing this? How are you doing these numbers? You have to build correctly to be able to actually hit the numbers that you want. Because if you don't, you're actually going to make fights that should be like 3 to 5 minutes into 45-minute sessions. We all started there. I mean, that's how I started when I used to hunt. With buddies, I was pretty proud of myself.
you know, being able to do a 45-minute monster hunt. So now that, the thing is, another thing to remember with the Golden Rathian is you actually got to break his head twice. There's a partial break and then there's a completely broken head piece. Don't forget to sharpen either if you're using a weapon that requires sharpening. So that's pretty much the end of that fight. It's done. It was a capture quest. If we had a kill quest, we might have accidentally killed him. And I know I'm going really quickly, but this is just like I guess an opening to and a segue to just start a couple of more Monster Hunter videos. And I know I usually play Bless Unleashed, but I feel like I want to start doing a segue into Monster Hunter because this is a great game and there's a great community behind it, and I really do want to tap into both because they're both kind of like RPGs. So the last session we actually did a lot quicker. We did a 5 minute 25 seconds with randoms, and now this is a 5 minutes and 36 seconds. So it's a bit slower. My record, I guess, for this one was with friends is probably like 2.5 to 3 minutes, maybe. But you know, that's when everyone was basically playing avidly. But like now, I'm just jumping back on, and I'm gonna join their quest again, so you guys can see yourself. Some other things to kind of take note when hunting monsters, because some of the things that I forgot to mention is the Clutch Claw Stagger, which is extremely important when you want to control a monster and make it do what you want. Flinches and that certain monsters have, and knockbacks, because certain monsters have areas and where you hit them and it causes a constant flinch or a constant like I guess it's a stun lock, I guess you would say, and the monster is immobilized and there's nothing you can do except treat him like a punching bag. And the thing is, to be a better Monster Hunter player is to not even require traps at all. That you're basically slugging him down and beating him to the point where you understand every single monster's like weak points and basically everything it takes to make them fall to their ground so you can treat them like a punching bag. I mean, that's why speedrunning has two different styles, freestyle and I forget the name, but let's see. Is that it? No, that's not it. Alright, this is the one. This is actually perfect. We're gonna do another one, so and this time it's a different monster. So this is actually great for you guys, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So again, before you start a fight, make sure that you restock up. I like traps personally because I don't want to think about having to knock monsters backwards and all that jazz. Each monster is its own video and its own category and its own explanation, so I don't want to get into that right now. So instead, we're just gonna do this. Let's see how many gourmet vouchers I have. I have 80. Oh, looks like somebody else is taking me out to dinner, which is perfect. Alright, so I'm gonna eat for attack up large. And that's pretty much it. So these are some of the decorations that I have for this setup. So I do have Expert Jewel Plus, a Sprinter Expert, Expert Jewel again, Flawless Vitality, Sprinter Expert, Tenderizer, Flawless Vitality, Bolt Jewel, Flawless Vitality, and more Tenderizer Jewels. And this is extremely important because of the fact that when the attacks hit the weak spot, you have 30% increased affinity and an extra 20% on wounded parts. So that means I'm only building up for about 45% to 50. You're initially supposed to build for 50% affinity. So that way when you hit the tenderized parts, it's about 100% affinity. So you're always going to be critting as long as you're going to be hitting those weak tenderized parts. And when I talk about tenderized parts or the weak parts, I'm actually talking about these parts right here. The tail, when you actually finally break the head completely. It looks like his toe right there and his wings. So while everyone's getting ready, I'm just going to kind of go around to the next room and show you guys kind of like the armor here. Because it looks like we're going to be fighting, actually, before I go into that, Savage Deviljho. So let's see where he is. Savage Deviljho. His weakness is 3-star to poison, 3-star to sleep, 3-star to paralysis. So those are the status weapons that you can actually use against him. And he has a 3-star to dragon or thunder. In my experience, I actually prefer using thunder. it just ends the fight much quicker. So I'm gonna stand by. No, I can't. Okay. So I'm gonna stand by here. I'm gonna go straight into it. And I do apologize for the long load times. You could definitely skip around right here. I do not have a solid state, so it's going to take me a lot longer to actually load in to kill these monsters. So I'm not sure if this is a capture quest or a kill quest. When I load in, we'll be able to see. So for the Savage Devil Joe, the interesting part is he's actually really simple to kill and really easy to basically keep stunned, because of the fact that if you hit his chest, which is his weak zone, he just tends to drool and just kind of sit there and just be a very good punching bag for you. I know that sounds kind of confusing, but that's what it is. So this is a capture quest. He is over here, so I'm going to fly. It's actually a really good spot for people that like to speedrun where he's actually at. So let's go over his weak zones again. We're gonna go and check out Savage Devil Joe. This is the one thing you want to do. So his tail, it looks like his chest, as you can see it's highlighted, and his head. So personally, I like to go for his head. I'm not his head, his chest, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll just kind of like walk it over, like what I'm thinking about when I'm doing this. So again, these are just some hunters I met in an investigation lobby. So there he is. Let's slap this on. If I want some more DPS, I'll eat his might seed along with a demon powder. So first and foremost, let's get a free knock. I slam him against the wall, or he could just leave. That works too. So whenever at the bottom left of the map, you're gonna notice that there's a yellow eyeball icon, and that shows that he's calm right now. There goes the slam, and then I'm gonna tenderize the chest because it's not weak yet. And I missed the chest. That is not where I want to go. Looks like he already tenderized the chest for me anyway. Currently I have a blight on me, so that'll go away with some time. But here's the spot where you want to tenderize, right here. This is the chest right here that you want to tenderize. So now that it's tenderized, you can do more DPS to this area and actually hurt the Savage Devil Joe. The timing and karma of that was actually pretty funny. He got me first. So okay, so he's breathing right here, and he's gonna be taking a break, and this is where we come in and do a lot of damage. So you see how he's drooling right there? This is where you clutch claw stagger. I jump on him and then I jump off to extend the amount of time it takes for him to sit in that position and basically make him behave as a punching bag that we want him to be. Because if I don't do that, he's going to get out of the animation much quicker and he's going to start fighting back. I'm also mindful of the combos that I'm using because I don't want to get stuck in an animation. Like I definitely don't want to use Dancing Dual Blades. But you see the player to my left, Adam, he just did a clutch claw stagger right there because he saw the drool coming out of Savage Devil Joe's mouth. And you know you did it successfully because he kind of like hops around when you do it. Like he has like a stutter when he does it. Okay, let's see. I gotta eat. I don't want him to move, so I'm gonna drop a trap. Extra DPS.
Alright, there goes the Drool again. And see how he hopped right there? That's the Clutch Claw stagger that I was talking about. And some people just call it the Clagger. And if you're using dual blades, a quick way to... Oh, he's dying, he's dying, he's dying. And that's pretty much the end of the fight. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I mean, let's see how long this took. Let's see what kind of precious gems we get out of this. This is the game Monster Hunter. After all, this is my opening video into a new game, and see if I can pull some content and some supporters from a different game, as well as Bless. I'm not gonna stop uploading videos for Bless, but I'm gonna continue doing videos for basically both games, and I'm gonna see how far I can get with this. So it took us 4 minutes to kill Savage Devil Joe, and I guess to kind of have like a comparison, most people don't do this in 4 minutes. They do it in usually, I would say, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes. Even solo, you can basically do this in 3 to 5 minutes. And like I said, anything below 10 minutes is good. So it being a sub 5 is not too bad at all. And again, the best way to play with players is to kind of complement what they're doing, and understand that you're going into a fight. You want to make sure everyone is using the monster's weakness. We're all using thunder weapons. We're all using the monster's weakness, and we're all aiming for the weak point. And if need be, we're using traps to keep them stationary. Otherwise, we're just kind of using the mechanics. Like, we know that he's gonna drool after a certain point, and he's gonna just kind of like stagger himself, and he's gonna be breathing, heavy. So this is the way you pretty much kill things fairly quickly in Monster Hunter. Is number 1, understand the weakness. Number 2, use a weapon that it's weak to. Number 3, learn where, even though there's different weak points of the monster, there's certain areas that do much more, I guess, damage toward that specific monster. And what I mean by that is each weapon class has its own hit zone value. So you might be doing more damage at a specific body part with, like, let's say dual blades, but if you aim at a different area, you're going to do more damage with a light bowgun or a heavy bowgun. But that's pretty much all I want to talk about. I just want to keep it brief, not too heavy. This is just kind of like the introduction to Monster Hunter. So if you did enjoy that, if you're a Bless supporter and you enjoyed this, feel free to check out this game. It's great. It's on the Game Pass, and it's one of my favorite games. It's much more rewarding than Bless, that's for sure. But it's also much more short-lived. Bless definitely lasted a bit longer in terms of like my attention span. This game, after a certain point, you can always go back to, because there's always something to do in its own way. You can there's new armor, new gear, new everything. And honestly, I'm just pretty excited to go over this game, because there's just a finite amount of monsters to actually go over. But there's just so many ways that you can actually build. But feel free to follow the socials: Instagram, Twitter, Mixer, Twitch at the Guitarist562. Please join the Discord. This Discord will be completely different. I have to actually change it to have a Monster Hunter Discord, because I'm going to be opening up for that as well, if you want tips and tricks for Monster Hunter, because I'm going to be doing a completely different setup, different community for this, but I'm still going to be playing both games. And again, thank you guys so much for continuously supporting what I'm doing. This is actually a lot of fun. I do love being able to play video games and just kind of show you guys, I guess the cool games that are out there. And I guess I just want to start vouching whether you should waste your time doing certain games or not. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And tomorrow, I'm not sure if I should only continue doing Bless videos, or if I'm going to be doing Monster Hunter only on Mondays, or maybe I'll do videos every single day for both game types. Maybe Monster Hunter in the morning and then Bless at night. I do have a lot of free time on my hands because of the coronavirus, so why not? Alright guys, take it easy and have a good one.